Well, hey there. My name is Lonnie Hogan. I'm glad you're here right now. I'm going to do everything I can to make this video as value-driven, as poignant, and as short as I can. If you're watching this right now, chances are you've heard the big news, okay? Or if not, I'm about to drop a bomb on you. David Wood made the announcement. The Empowernetwork is going to bankruptcy court. It is completely bankrupt, and now it is going to fold completely and no longer be a company. So the vision and mission that David Wood and David Sharp came together and created back in 2011 didn't work out. And this has impacted literally thousands, probably tens of thousands of people. And I know that there's a lot of emotion going on right now with a lot of people who are some former members of the Empowernetwork and others who are current members, people who had paid for the products but never really did much with them, that sort of thing. And, you know, a lot of people are just kind of reeling. What does this all mean for the industry as well as for your own, your own personal fortune and your own future in business? And, what I want to cover here is just a little bit of, first of all, why I think it imploded. Okay, was it a scam and a pyramid scheme that finally ran its course, or was it more of just a poorly managed business model for reasons that had nothing to do with MLM? And did it implode for other reasons? I'm going to cover a little bit of that. I'm also going to cover my story, okay, what my own experience with the Empowernetwork has been, and I'm going to do that as quickly and succinctly as I can. And then also the third thing that I think is going to be the biggest difference for people is what can you do now? Like, where can the people who are either current members of the Empowernetwork go and still succeed in a home-based business opportunity? What options do you have, and how to go about fulfilling those options without making the same mistakes, okay? So first of all, you know what? I want to throw out an acknowledgement to David Wood for the video that he put out. It's been like 4 days ago now, because to be honest with you, a lot of people wouldn't have the guts to do that. And from watching the video, I watched it a couple of times myself, and a couple of things were very clear. Okay, first of all, that David Wood is super sorry about what happened. Second of all, that he never intended to hurt anybody. I think the guy genuinely has a good heart, and he really had noble visions and hopes for the Empowernetwork. He just didn't have the skills to make it a sustainable company. He'd made a couple of critical mistakes. Hey, look, I've done that, and most business owners. Walt Disney went bankrupt 3 times before he got Disney World off the ground. Ray Kroc had to go hat in hand to Coca-Cola to get a loan so he could get McDonald's going. Okay, so I mean, he's not the first business owner to try to do something really big and fail at it. And I think that's, worth noting. It's also worth noting that, when other businesses, not MLMs or anything like that, have folded, Enron comes to mind, those executives went scattering for the hills, trying to get their golden parachutes and trying to skirt the law. David Wood's not doing that. I mean, he gave it everything he had, as far as I can see, and now he's only going to bankruptcy court because he literally doesn't have any other choice. And he's even made some promises to people that he still owes money to make good on those those debts. And whether that'll actually happen or not, who knows? So that's my acknowledgement for David Wood and for his efforts. Now, that said, I also think that he held back on where he should have been giving those apologies. He gave apologies to a few of the big leaders and people who had made millions in the Empowernetwork, whose opportunity they lost was like an opportunity income, for further on income. But those people did fine. Tony Rush, Aaron Rashkin, those guys made millions of dollars off of the Empowernetwork. For every one of those guys, there are about 1,000 people, like myself, who bought into the vision and mission, at least to the level that we put our own money on the line, but never to a level where we recouped that money. I'm an example of that, and I'll tell that story in just a moment. And those are the people, in my opinion, who have been hurt the most. Okay, it's those people who took a leap of faith, even if it wasn't an all-in leap, but did so under false pretenses. Okay, and while David gave out his story of what happened, I really think this is just my speculation, but I really think he's holding back, not telling the whole truth on everything. We heard about Vietnam and these people from Vietnam that stole $1 million from the company. That should have been news to certain people, and it should have had a plan of action around recouping that money a long time ago. Because you can't recoup from something like that when you have a business model like the Empower Network where you give away 100% of the commissions. This was always one of my big concerns with a company, is that when you have 100% commission giveaway and you have maybe this tiny little admin fee on the side, if anything ever goes wrong, the company goes into a lull, the company has a product that doesn't work out, or anything happens that puts the company in debt, there's no possible way to get out of the debt, without a massive change in the business model or a massive change in the commission structure, which is why I think they actually did a few years ago reduce it down from the 100% down to the 80%. It was their attempt to make some money that they could use to pay off the debt, but it just wasn't going to work, and they never should have had those 100% commissions in the first place. Part of the reason that all this happened is specifically because of that bad business model right from the get-go. So, those are my acknowledgments, my criticisms. Now, this kind of just segues directly into why I think the Empower Network imploded. First of all, was it a pyramid scheme? And, was it a scam? Well, there were some scammy things that happened. And most notably was over exaggeration of what their products and services could accomplish. So I was a part of the Empower Network way back before the Blog Beast. And then the Blog Beast came out, and there were a lot of promises about what an incredible product this Blog Beast was going to be. And a lot of those promises had come in the form of, hey, we've been testing this, we did that, we've made sure that this product really works good. And then they rolled the product out, and it didn't live up to those promises. I mean, it was very buggy. It just it just was a piece of junk, really, basically. And it flopped as a result of that. Now, the problem that I had with that process is that they were selling something on false pretenses, because they made it sound like they'd been testing the product out. I listened for that stuff. Have you been actually testing this? Have you worked out all the bugs? Have you actually used it in a way where it's created a business benefit for people? They claimed that they had been, but really they hadn't. So I got disenfranchised with the Empower Network. I'll go into my story now. I got disenfranchised with the Empower Network years and years ago. And it was after that Blog Beast fallout that I said, okay, I need to move on into something else. And so I went ahead and I canceled out my subscription membership. And, I was never all in at that point. I was only paying $25 a month for the blogging platform. But it wasn't that big a deal, and I thought it was worth it for what I was paying. And, at that point in time, the Empower Network vision was all about giving you the skills and the marketing dollars that would allow you to go out and whatever your primary MLM was, or whatever product or service you were truly passionate about, you now had the business skills and the marketing savvy to go out there and make that business model work. That was their original vision and mission, and I bought into that. I thought that was a good vision and mission to have. They shifted away from that, though, after I had left the company, and I went on into a couple of other business opportunities that really just didn't pan out either, for largely similar reasons. Decent sales funnel, good pitch, terrible products. Either shoddy education that was completely over, just exaggeration. I'm not going to go out and call it complete scam. I'm just going to go out and say, look, if you got a good product, call it a good product. If you got a great product, call it a great product. But don't take a good product and try to make it sound like it's great, or it's phenomenal, or it's outstanding, or it's never been done before, because you're always then over-promising and under-delivering. And Empower Network did that again and again and again. That's why, in my opinion, it imploded. Because eventually you saturate the market with a negative brand, a brand that people don't trust. And in 2011 and in 2012 and even in 2013, they hadn't reached that saturation point, but then they reached a critical point where they'd put out bad products a few times too many. They'd done product launches that had hyped up a big event or a big opportunity a few too many times, and it just didn't have the flavor that it used to have. So their launches became less effective. And the final one was that Project Titan, which was a complete disaster, and it was a disaster specifically because it was based completely on BS. They had not done any of the testing that they had claimed they had done, and they had not created the results that they were predicating the price and the value of this product on in the first place. And so, for that reason, Empower Network deserves to have crashed. So it imploded for those reasons, Not because it was an MLM, Not necessarily, anyway. because there are plenty of MLMs, Amway and Herbalife, and Send Out Cards and Talk Fusion, many companies that have been around for 10 years plus who have a solid business model. They have an MLM business structure. They have a good product that people will buy, and they'll buy it for the consumer value. A lot of times it's referred to as intrinsic value. And as a real estate appraiser for 8 years myself, I learned a lot about valuation strategies, valuation methodology, ideology, just valuation theory, and what makes something worth a specific amount of money to a certain market. And there's always a market for digital education, but that digital education has to have a consumer-driven value, meaning people will buy it just to have the education only, independent of the opportunity to sell it. Okay, and that's where most MLMs get in trouble, is that they don't put a good, strong distinction between the affiliate side of the business and the consumer-driven value end of the business. And Empowernetwork is a classic example of that. They just they built it up on hype, and so that's always a recipe for an unsustainable model. Now, at this point, a lot of you who are feeling, I know, all kinds of different emotions. Some of you probably happy that they finally folded because your bad experiences in the past, you look at it like karma, and others who are mortified by its folding because you had invested so much of yourself into the idea, the vision, the mission, the products, the process. And I know several people even who were full, all-in, wholly dedicated, highly effective Empowernetwork affiliates who even had some pretty sizable incomes that just disappeared overnight just recently as a result of this. Even going back a few months ago, I was receiving phone calls back in March and April. I probably received 4 or 5 phone calls a week from David Wood's latest attempt to revive the company, and all of those messages said the same thing. Man, if you really want financial independence, you got to come join us. Man, we're doing such big things. People are making so much money. None of it's true. Okay, so you can't market that way in today's day and age. First of all, the FTC is way too on to the network marketing industry and highly sensitive to that. Since in our internet age, and it's become so much easier to market, it's also become much easier for people to make bad business decisions. And the Federal Trade Commission is really on top of the direct sales industry and the network marketing industry for those specific reasons. Now, I think these things are good. This is where, if you are a home-based business entrepreneur looking for a sustainable, consistent income that you can build into a sizable level of wealth over time. So these are the things that I think you need to be looking for. First of all, there needs to be separation between products being sold to customers and affiliates signing up for the opportunity to sell the products or the opportunity. There needs to be distinction between those two that is very clear, so that you can show the FTC, here's where our customers are, and you can see we have X number of customers for every X number of affiliates. The FTC likes to see something in the neighborhood of 10 to 1 affiliate for every 10 customers. Not that it has to be exactly that, but somewhere in that realm at least. And they need to also see that customers are sticking around. Okay, I mean, if the customers are flowing through that, they're on auto ship for no more than 90 days before they're off, then they're going to be having red flags come up for them. So you need to be able to show that there's customer satisfaction for the value of the products you bring to the marketplace, and that there's also an affiliate system that's sustainable. Okay, so that people aren't just ratcheting up like the Empowernetwork was on a huge growth surge for a lot of years. I mean, they had way more commissions paid out than just about anybody else, but it wasn't sustainable. Okay, and it wasn't sustainable for a variety of reasons, some of which I've already addressed, and some of which I won't even get into just to keep the video short. But if you want to move forward in a business model that will be, first of all, rock solid with the FTC, and at the same time sustainable, you've got to see that distinction between the customer and the affiliate side of things. Okay, and the second thing that I think you really got to be on the lookout for is the principles and the integrity of the leaders who are driving the company. David Wood and David Sharp had created a business model that really depended on their own personality, presence, and involvement in the organization in order for the organization to survive. Part of it was with that 100% commission structure and no money left over to actually run the business. The only money to use for things like customer service reps to answer the phones or deal with chargebacks or deal with merchant account issues or deal with hosting issues for the websites or to deal with any kind of technology glitches. There was no money left over for that stuff because you're paying all of it out to these commissions. Okay, so what David Wood and David Sharp did is they took a certain percentage of their own affiliate money and poured it back into the company. That was just a bad idea. And when you do a business model like that, you got to have money to run your company. So you need to have some percentage. It can be 10% or 20%. In today's digital age, it's not all that expensive to put a lot of these business opportunities together. And if you're selling digital education, your margins are huge, but they're not 100%. Okay, your margins are never 100% because that leaves you zero left over for the other necessary components of running the business. And if you don't have money available for new product development, for getting you through a lull, for dealing with any legal issues, you got to have a compliance team and all of that kind of stuff. If you don't have money left over for that, you don't have a solid business model. So always be on the lookout for that. I'm involved in 2 opportunities right now. Both of them are set up where you sign up as an affiliate over here, you sign up as a customer over here, you get generous commissions, but there's always some portion of the money that's being taken and set aside for product development, hosting, necessary expenses, and compliance. Okay, and then marketing obviously is being taken care of by the marketers, and that's why you're getting the commissions that you're getting. Okay, so in my 2 companies that I'm involved in, I have no worries about them, going under. And if you want to know about those 2 companies, I'm not going to cover it in this video, but I will put a link down in the comments so that you can look into that and look into it further with me. And just to know that the people that I'm working with, a couple of them are actually top leaders from the Empower Network, and they were people who had left because they saw some of the things going on that didn't resonate with their governing values, with their principles, and with what they thought was necessary to keep the company working healthy and really putting people first. So, I won't say anything more about that on this video. In the end, here's what you got to understand. Any company can thrive or fail based on its leadership, based on its business model. This isn't something unique to the network marketing industry or to the direct sales business or something unique to the proliferation of digital education. Okay, because that stuff's never going away. Okay, the home business industry will always be here. If you look at the number of network marketing business models in 2017, compare it to what it looked like in, say, 1997, we're talking 100 companies to one. I mean, the proliferation has been incredible. And it's largely because of the internet, but that's just not going away. People will always be looking for a better, faster, smarter way to earn a living, and specifically to be able to do it on their own turf and their own terms. If you look at me, I haven't had to work outside my house since 2009, and I work as an expat, meaning I'm a United States citizen, but I get to travel the world with my wife and my child. We've been to Hong Kong, Singapore, Seoul, Korea, Tokyo, Manila. We've lived on a little island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean for 3 years. Now I'm living in the capital city of Cambodia. And I'm able to do all of this while working right from a little laptop computer with a simple internet connection. That is a dream many, many people have. That is not going away. And that's a dream that's only going to become more and more available to people as technology and resources continue to innovate and develop and become less expensive. So you're in the right place, okay, and you're in the right time. And some of these pioneer companies have come and gone, and some other companies like the Empower Network that were, big players for a short period of time created lessons to be learned. And David even said that in his video, lessons learned. I know now not what to do and what to do instead. And, and I wish him the best. I mean, I'm sure there's a following, a certain loyal set of disciples that will always follow him, and no matter where he goes and what he does. I won't be one of them. Okay. In fact, I never was, because I never fully, the only reason that I never actually sold any of the Empower Network products, even though I bought them all, is because even though I was like, okay, I'm 75% with you, but there's this 25% of red flags, things I'm seeing that make me really concerned. I was confident enough to put my own money out on the table, but not willing to put my own integrity and my own brand behind selling these products and services to other people who I thought could potentially get hurt. Not a good recipe for doing solid business in a profitable way, but I sleep well at night. And I'm able to take the lessons learned and the products and what they did for me and apply them to the business opportunities that I'm a part of now, where the products and services, the integrity, the leadership, the business model, the structure, all the necessary components that I know for sustainable profitability are present. Okay, so if you're looking for that, then PM me on Facebook, look me up. My name is Lonnie Hogan, spelled with a Y. Look me up on workingwithlonnie.com. I'm just, whether we do business together or not, if you just want to talk, collaborate a little bit, love to meet you. And I hope this video made a difference for you. Okay, so, because a lot of people just dealing with the fallout of the Empower Network aren't sure where to turn and what to do. And the doors are still wide open for you. Okay, there are plenty of opportunities, many good ones, quite a few bad ones too. So you got to be careful. And you just got to do your homework, do your due diligence. Really look closely at the leaders. Okay, the first opportunity, what I call my primary opportunity, I watched an 1.5-hour interview between the CEO of that company and an attorney who specializes in the network marketing industry, who was interviewing him about how the company came to be, what its principles were, why the products exist the way they do, why the prices are where they are, where they are, what the product hopes to accomplish. Everything that gave me super confidence that I was dealing with a man of integrity. And then with my other opportunity, what I call my cash flow opportunity, which is not an MLM, it's just a simple affiliate membership website. The integrity and principles of the two leaders there is second to none. These guys know what they're doing, and they always put people first. So that's what I found for myself. I hope you find what you're looking for, and if I can help you find it in any way, reach out to me. Would love to speak to you. Cheers.